Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Wilkes University football. Joining us is preseason All-American Nick Dawson, who plays some fullback. Well, Nick, welcome into the show. Tell us about how your summer's going. It's great when you get some honors every so often, and you got them coming in for your final year there as a colonel.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's a nice thing to have. It definitely would mean more, if I had the same award at the end of the year. But right now, I'm just working out and working up here in Wilkes-Barre, trying to stay busy.
Staying busy, you do. Tell us about got some student teaching done in the spring, so you're pretty much ready to roll, I guess, in your next level when you get to that career.
Yeah. I was student teaching at Myers High School during the spring. It was definitely an interesting experience. I got to learn a lot. Feel like I'm prepared.
Well, Nick, when you talk about your team this year, obviously a change in the coaching ranks at the head with Coach Brown coming in. Tell us about your conversations with him and how you're feeling about being a colonel going forward with Coach Brown taking over now.
Coach Brown's a great guy. It was a little awkward at first, changing head coaches, but as spring practice went on, seeing them in the weight room and around campus, you got to know them, and I think everyone feels pretty comfortable moving forward and, starting this new era of Wilkes football.
Well, Nick, talk about your role on the team as far as leadership-wise. Talked with Omar Richardson recently, and a great guy there, and he's going into his senior year and playing some D-back and All-American kind of guy as well for the preseason. Tell us about your role on the offensive end and as an overall leader there for the Colonels.
My main job is to, do my job. I try to lead by example. I'm not a real big talker or yeller or anything. But, I just try and go out there and play as hard as I can and do my job and, hold other people accountable to do their job. And that's how you win.
Nick, when you came through the Montoursville program, talk about playing for Coach Bergen and that whole program there for Montoursville and what that experience was like for you before you came to Wilkes.
It was. It was great playing in Montoursville. Coach Bergen was a very knowledgeable guy. He'd been there for a long time. You went into the year expecting to do well, and the 4 years I was there, we always did. It was really fun. It was a small team, so you're best friends with everybody on the team, and people you played with from kindergarten up through till 12th grade. So it was very positive.
Well, in this day and age, Nick, not many guys do what you do or try to do what you do in two sports at the collegiate level. You're also a wrestler on the Colonel wrestling team and a fantastic wrestling team under Coach John Laudenslager. Tell us about that experience for you and going from football over to wrestling.
It's interesting. I like it because, it's always something fresh. It's not just football. Once football is done, I get to move into wrestling. It's a new challenge. It's a tough transition at first, going from football in shape to wrestling in shape. But you get through it. It's a great team to be on, we've had a lot of success recently. Our coaches are great. We just have it's a very small team atmosphere with wrestling compared to football. So it's more of it's a smaller group. So it kind of reminds me of high school. Coach Laudenslager is a little more laid back. You'll see him in the corner of the mat, and he's not screaming his head off. But, he's more, calm and talks to you. And, his style is a little different than Coach Shep talks, and his style is different than Coach Brown's. But, they all know what they're talking about. And it's great to learn from such great coaches.
Nick Dawson here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Nick, when you get back home to Montoursville, tell us about your family life, what that's like, and what are some of the things you like to do with your family and how they've been there for you.
It's great. With football and wrestling, I don't really go home all that often. So when I do, it's usually spent hanging out with my family. My mom, my dad, my little brother. I hang out with the grandparents. It's always good. We always try and do something like going out to eat, go see a movie, even just hanging around the house. It's always a great thing to go home and see those people that have helped me along so much in life and supported me.
Nick, when you talk about your career going forward, obviously you're going to get through this year with some football and some more wrestling there at Wilkes University, but tell us about what you'd like to do down the road. Is coaching something you have in your future? Is education exactly what you want to do?
Yeah, I think, no matter if what I do for a career, whether I'm a teacher or I get involved in something else, I would definitely love to be a coach and work with young student athletes, try to shape their lives like coaches have shaped mine. Either football or wrestling or both. I'd love to be a coach at some point.
Well, Nick, I know you made a lot of people proud up until this point, and you want to continue that effect in the fall and over the winter, not only in the classroom but on the field and on the mat. Congratulations on your preseason All-American status there at Wilkes University on the football field. Great talking with you. We wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Nick Dawson, Wilkes University, football and wrestling here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.